to go down. Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I'll be your host for the evening. I am Elemental. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We do this every Monday as we have been for 185 weeks. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Here we go for another one. Every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams, we truly appreciate you first and foremost, and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number's on your screen. It is 279-995-364. It is truly a different world inside the Zoom. Jump in and join the greatest community in the world. Why do I say that? They're going to show you. Stay tuned. We do this every week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills, all right? So we'd like to thank the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Poetry Foundation, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and Education of America for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All right. This is where you can find me, man. So many things going on. All right, plug in, trust and believe. So much going on. Tonight's theme: building blocks. Right? What's the word? This is about your favorite words, right? What were the words or the word that changed language for you, right? What was that phrase, right? That idiom, that euphemism that you said, ooh, I think I can do better. Or, oh man, I wonder how else you can say those things, right? All those things are important, right? As always, your poem doesn't necessarily have to be on theme in order for you to rock with us this evening. We are still looking forward to hearing your incredible artistry, all right? Next week's theme, Turning Point Tech. Game changers, literally and figuratively, all right? And look, I'm talking about all of it, right? Think about the turning point technology that we've dealt with in our generation, right? Some have seen radio to television, right? We've seen depictions of stagecoaches going into cars, right? Water balloons, calculators, now we have AI, right? So this is what this is about. It's about what are those things that were so game-changing in technology that almost now we can't live without, right? We're seeing more and more things evolve, right? As I'm looking at this Zoom box right now, I see now it comes along with a companion from AI. So think about it. It's everywhere. So let's discuss it, all right? That's what's going on next week. Make sure you plug in. Bring your poetic license so we can get down, all right? Let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry. Poets, turn your cameras on. All right, we are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that you put into your poetic performance. All right. Plus, I want to see if you're gonna freak out these backgrounds. You know what I mean? So turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to rock, have your poem ready. All right. If you're going analog, dog ear the page. If you're going digital, pull it up and have it ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, make sure it's original. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our streams in any way, all right? So make sure your music is original and you're putting on your original sound. Those two things, and we're good to go, all right? Also, make sure you are changing your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you, all right? Poets, you got 3 minutes to rock. I've told y'all plenty of times I don't want to time cop anybody. I really, really don't, right? I'm going to be here, right? Some of your colleagues don't necessarily want to stay for 3 hours, y'all. So keep that in mind as you're rocking, all right? I don't really want to time cop anybody. I'm serious. I'm here for the expression, right? And we all need that space, right? But please keep in mind that everybody on this list wants to rock out. So please be mindful of your time. We have reached night 30 for the babies. There are some explicit lyricists in our community, right? And some may even trigger some horrible flashbacks, all right? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the veins of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. There is no censorship, all right? Poetry is a living, breathing trigger warning. You walk into a poetry venue, you're going to hear any and everything under the sun, plus some under the undersun. So keep in mind, thou hath been warned, all right? This is a true call and response space. After the poets get up here and they rip out a part of who they are and share it with everyone here, you'll see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share your energy back with the poets. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway, all right? So let everyone know that you're in here. All that energy is important because all the energy that you give will come back to you as the poetic performance, all right? The list tonight is closed. Sign up begins Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, of course, which is 24 hours before the show. All right, to sign up, you go to neweurekan.org. You click on full events calendar. You click on the Monday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list. All right, RSVP equals guaranteed. All right. Also going on right now in the brick and mortar is the open mic. I believe it's hosted by Rise Felicia, going on this week. Also, Wednesday Night Slam is going to be hosted by Jay Rose this week, also alternated by C4. The B is amazing. This week, Thursday night online open mic is going to be guest hosted by the one and only Deadpan Lizzie. So make sure you are plugging in on Thursday. Friday night in the cafe is going down with Jive Poetic. Shout out DJ Paco. It goes down 100% of the time. After Jive is the open room with Chevy. From Puerto Rico, it's happening again. I have seen this happen, y'all. I have seen this happen with my eyes. If you can get there, get there. It's memorable. If you can get there to see this, get there to see it. All right. The cafe is going to be closing. It may show up somewhere else. We don't know. But make sure you plug in. If you can, pull up to see it. It's amazing. All right. Also, to celebrate the closing of the doors, there will be an incredible party, including a costume party, all right? So if you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging into all of it. Tonight's list, oh my goodness. See those beautiful colors on there, right? It means I get to yell at some folks, right? And it means that we're possibly gonna hear some new voices, right? But I'm learning that you never know, right? It's a cycle, right? People go and they come back, but guess what? We all benefit from it. So let's get to it, y'all. There's my rowdy friends here on Monday night. What's good, everybody? It is so good to see all of you. I'm telling you, I wait all week just to get back here. So let's get to it. I will post the list in the chat. Starting us off this evening is a poet that has been rocking with us for a while. I saw she had the seed with her. Always love to see the baby. And I'm looking forward to how she is going to set us off this evening. The one and only Eliza is here to set us off this evening. It is great to see you. Hopefully all is well. Let these folks know where they can find you. Please set us off this evening.
Thank you, Elemental. Hi, everyone. My name is Elemen2al, and I'm on Facebook, have a few things on YouTube. That's about it. I thought I was going, I don't usually do intros, but I thought I was going to have another poem that I was going to try to write and share about what's taking place in the world right now, because it's been a nightmare of a week. But I didn't. I saw the theme and I dug up an old poem that is on theme. So I'm going to dedicate this to a professor of mine, Dr. Yolanda Seeley Ruiz, who is a poet, a scholar, a wonderful woman who was the first person to let me know that I could do this work. So here we go. So you say I'm a poet. What? You think I doubt you? You think I don't think I'm good enough, that I lack that self-esteem, need someone else to come tear off the veil bestowed upon me by my people at Mount Sinai like 5,000 years ago or something? I'm a poet, you say. That I can write, that I have heart, whatever the hell that is. You know, it's funny. I don't feel anything. Never angry, scared, never ashamed or hurt or insecure, just fine, cool. Nothing going on inside. And every day I turn the corner and find myself right back at the front door. But you say there's more. You say if I let it in, it'll pour out like a storm, waiting for someone to let the thunder clap and lightning strike. But I remember Mrs. Hirsch in the 3rd grade. She showed us a picture of what happens when lightning strikes. It was torn out of the National Geographic. They didn't have smartboards back then. It was a tall black tree and it had no leaves and its branches were just there, like the arms of a corpse. It was dead. It's never going to grow again, she told us. That's what happens when storms unleash. I've always been a good student. Some of the time. I know what happens when storms unleash, when the heavens pour, when lightning strikes, the fury, terror, shame, love. I told you, I don't feel anything. But if I did, and I let it out, and it killed something, or someone, or me. But you say I'm a poet. And I don't think I knew that before. Thank you.
That's how you do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eliza.
Way to set it off. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right.
Wonderful delivery.
Yep.
You know, I absolutely love when poets do exactly what you just did. They say, you know, I got some old stuff that I'm gonna bring, and it's just like, I'm not really sure, but take this. First and foremost, shout out to the educators, right? You make a difference in this world. Shout out to the educators that you mentioned in your piece, right? Even your 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Hirsch, right? I appreciate that, because a lot of people will bestow that upon themselves and say they're a poet because they write poetry. But it's something very different when someone says you're a poet, someone that you know and respect for what they do, right? And someone says, you know what, you're a poet, right? That means that you can wear that proudly. And I love that you went into the detail about what you meant by, so you say I'm a poet, right? Right? I have heart, whatever the hell that is, right? that just trying to deal with that imposter syndrome before it even really clamped on, right? All the way in the third grade, the National Geographic, yeah, that was just good stuff. Clearly, they made it a show, right? Because people don't do this anymore. They much rather watch it, right? You mentioned that's what happens when storms unleash, right? You said, love, I told you, I don't feel anything, right? That's the beauty of poetry, because you can write about just that. I don't feel anything, but I can feel this pen and this paper in my hand. So I'm going to tell you about it, right? Thank you, Eliza. Amazing poem. We truly, truly appreciate all the energy that you put into it. Make sure you are plugging in with Eliza. Thank you for setting us off this evening. Hey, the Starship's underway, y'all. So let's keep it going. All right, coming up next, this cat continues to come through to bring some, listen, at this point, man, I don't even know what this cat's going to do, right? I just know it's going to be dope, right? If history is any indication of the future, here comes another one. The one and only Dre Reyes is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, man. It's great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Yo, everybody, this is Dre Reyes. You can find me on Instagram at DreRay90, and that's a 90. I wasn't too sure what to do here since I didn't really have time to do the theme here, but I'm just gonna read something random. In fact, this is the poem that pretty much explains how I got back into poetry this year. For any Joy Division fans, you'll dig it. It's called Torn Apart. When routine bites hard and ambitions are low and resentment rides high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Waking up every day with an anchor of dread holding me from wanting to step out of the bedroom, fearing the looming outcome of emotional Russian roulette. The normalization of instability has finally taken its toll. 4 years and 4 months of a failing relationship riddled with fear, anxiety, depression, self-loathing, and miscommunication was coming to a head. We both knew a storm was coming. We just had no idea how damaging it was going to be. We were as ill-prepared ending this journey as we were when we started. If Murphy's Law manifested itself into a relationship, this was it. This was us. This was our reality. We are both held responsible for the creation of this black hole that has dawned in the presence where fiery passion once thrived. Why is the bedroom so cold? You turned away on your side. My timing that flawed? Our respect runs so dry, yet there's still this appeal that we've kept through our lives. We have waited nearly a decade for our love to finally blossom. Our chemistry was undeniable, or so it seemed. Like all promising scientific theories, this hypothesis needed to be put to the test. The unique set of obstacles we conquered made us believe infinitely that the catch was going to be worth the chase. Yet, reality did not meet the expectations for the both of us. Yet, we clung on hope. We clung to hope like the face paints we wore in public, the belief that our efforts were not in vain, that we would not succumb to our wounds in the battlefield of our love. Do you cry out in your sleep, all my failings exposed? There's a taste in my mouth as desperation takes holds. Just that something so good can function no more. Unresolved trauma before and during this relationship had a way of undoing our sutures every time the opportunity presented itself. Now that the war is over, we can finally heal. However, we now bear the scars of our past that the naked eye cannot see. PTSD. As we walk in silence on our different roads, navigating through the wreckage of the streets in our heart ghettos, all I see is danger. Always danger. I do wish you nothing but the best. However, it hurts to see the mountain of our love crumble into a sea of memories as memories of your face begin to fade away. Love has torn us apart. Thank you.
Damn, the one thing that's supposed to bring you together tore you apart. Damn it, did you hate that? Unmute yourself, give it up for Dre Ray.
Pray for
Yeah,
peace.
epic. Right. Epic. Joy Division. Shout out. Yeah.
Listen, I love, again, this is how it's gonna be, right? Cool. He said, oh no, I wasn't really sure what it was and how we are gonna do this, but I got something that's gonna work exactly that way. He said, this is why I got into poetry, right? This is what the theme is about. It's about those building blocks. It's about those things, those feelings, those words that get you right back in here, right? Sometimes, like the name of your poem, it's called Torn Apart. Sometimes you have to be torn apart, right? To build this collage, this stained glass image, right? That actually can reflect in all the creativity that you have, right? Because you definitely want to get rid of the anchor of dread that you mentioned, right? That emotion Russian roulette, like that's serious. So many people deal with that, right? But how you mentioned all of those things means that you're fearless enough to stand against them and realize that you can heal and actually be more than just that, right? Sometimes you do have to test those scientific theories, man, but that's how you find out, right? You said the catch was going to be worth the chase. Ah, man, I love that. I love that. Also, I would love to know if you meant this literally or figuratively. You said clung on to hope like the face paint we wore in public. Damn, man. Damn, that's, you know, front stage, backstage, you know what I mean? Like that's so very heavy. Navigating the streets of our hearts ghettos, like, come on, man. That's just bad business. But I love how you flip that like that. Truly, always enjoy when you come rocking. Always, man. So appreciate you. Make sure you come through. The one and only Dre Reyes. Make sure you are plugging in with him. Appreciate you, man. All right. Coming up next. Listen, I don't know. Y'all, it's 1-2 thing, man. Like, y'all can do it, right? Just make sure, you know, I got to bob and weave on y'all, man, because y'all doing it. Coming up next, love when this poet comes through. And I love when they're standing up, right? Because that energy just comes through very different. I'm telling you, it really does. Love when she comes through. The one and only Kitay in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Always great to hear you. Please take it away.
Hey, you can find me on Instagram under Kitay _ the poetic cat, and it's cat with a K. I have one poem that's somewhat on theme. The other one I think is pretty on theme as well, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to read both. So I'm going to read the first one. This room is like lightning, and I'm floating on transcendent clouds, a butterfly, no longer bound by limiting beliefs, because right here, I can allow myself to be free, shaping my words into the form of poetry. Even if I might be shaking with anxiety, I know the feeling will fade eventually. I can't allow fear to hold me back from the places I'm meant to go and see. Each day brings new opportunities for me to pursue and new goals to reach. I feel like I've been climbing this ladder forever, so eventually I have to reach the top sooner or later. Getting to the top doesn't mean I won't still experience struggle. I'll just be able to balance a little better on stable ground without having to cling to the bars or fearing losing my grip and falling all the way back down. I know that I'll make it, which is why I continue. Even if my grasp slips and I fall down a few rungs, a little perseverance and determination help me climb back up. Struggle is inevitable, and it comes with levels, testing your endurance and flexibility. You have resistance, the ability to push back and fight for your rights to continue to climb. Don't let go of those bars, because you've already come too far to go back now. And if you let go, you'll miss out on the wondrous opportunities life can bring forth. By letting go, you'll never even get to see them or know. By hanging on, even if you're dangling from one of the rungs, you're putting faith, hope, and trust that all will work out. And in due time, it will. Stay strong and show the world why you were put here. Stand tall and secure in your talents and powers without the frightening feeling of fear. Those talents are part of the key to why you are here. Hone them, own them. Stop claiming that you don't have a talent or not believing you're good enough. It's something you excel in. Appreciate the gifts life is given and align them to fit into your life's mission. All right, that's the first one. This second one is short and it sounds a little cocky, but I'm going to do it anyway. Sometimes I don't realize how blessed I really am. I have a gift. I have a voice. I have these hands to type or handwrite. Not everyone has that, nor can everyone whip up a poem in a few minutes or even one night. Something that confuses me because I don't need to work hard at it. The words come to me and I let them flow from my hand to paper as if it were like oxygen going into my nose. It's so easy for me, which sometimes makes me feel guilty when I see others struggle to come up with their own unique creativity. I know that I shouldn't. I have no reason to feel that way, but it's almost as if I'm the CEO of a company, sitting in my office all day, making hundreds an hour, while others are slaving away for minimal pay. It's not like I get paid for my writing, but it's the value. Just because another person isn't the CEO doesn't mean they don't produce good, if not better, work. They just need to work harder while I can slack off and miss work, but still receive benefits as if I showed up. The end. Thank you for having me here.
Value. Damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kitay.
Yeah, Kitay.
Value. Oh my
Great job. Great job.
You know, again, this is what I love about coming here. This is what I love about poets, because we are so willing to share the real parts of ourselves through our poetry, right? And I love all of those words that you use in there, Kitay, in that first poem, right? A little perseverance and dedication. You mentioned endurance and flexibility, right? And all the wondrous opportunity that life can bring forth, right? All of that positive energy only helps people to move forward, right? Invest in that creativity. You said it's the part of the key to why you're here. Align them to fit into your life's mission. Come on. That's what it's really about. Knowing what you're here to do and trying to fit that into who you really are, right? She said, I have a gift, I have a voice, right? Like oxygen flowing in my nose. Listen, I understand words don't necessarily lie down for everyone like that. But since we do have that ability, we need to use them very wisely. So I continue to appreciate all of you for using your words wisely and turning them into poetry, right? We could do other things, but we're here. Thank you, Kitay, for always bringing your incredible artistry. Your poetry is always on point. So thank you for sharing it with us. All right, coming up next, OG is in the building, all right? I'm telling you, when the Jedi Master steps up, I promise you it's about to be an event. The one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. Thanks for that warm welcome, Elemental. I don't know how this place would replace you, so I hope you stay around a lot longer. I don't have anything directly on theme, but I will comment that I just quote this poet, Mike Tyler, who said, "The most beautiful word in the American language is resist." This is my poem for this week. The human dream endlessly arrives here for a moment all the time. Every color persists longer than dawn, waking one answer rings. Deep current human with growth, tomorrow of continuance, has imagined alive our love wind, listening need made. Singular, now life in you unlearned its way to becoming more alive. Home is here for a moment to wash away in eternity's no place. Which time is there of what nothing needs? Understanding the majesty of every emotion all at once. How we appear as one another in our self-feeling. Singular, now life in you unlearned its way to becoming more alive. Holy and vulgar, outrage and bliss, higher than passions, indifferently luminous, above earthly predicaments, moon will still ascend. Understand and reflect only from the ego out. A value for never is ever shown, both darker than nothing. The pair of nights responding once. Invisible as forgetting, it is true bonds are severed, disunion appearing far away, living flat with synthetic motion, a story told, confined in a disagreement shout encore, control, a perimeter search never found more than needing by futile stare. Wanting to know is what will tell the filling self. We inhabit each other even for what does not matter. Holding each other, then we understand respect. Holding each other, then we are equalized forward. Understanding the every emotion all at once, how we appear as one another in our self-feeling. Singular, now life in you unlearned its way to becoming more alive. From imagination's womb, enlightenment births one off this earth. As material being still confined within the wander of here. What believers feel just the same in sharing, knowing lives within a life. Wide open in affirmation, equal part upon the sky. Artificial divisions in conflict themselves soon destroy. Open within for the clouds of lamps high up in the night. I tried the understanding on, but it did not fit. Revelatory eyes had already shared, gathering within me. Instructed by empty skies to let my name go. Recognition is the path What is seen now recalls with the next step. Between ending and being once more, we hold parts of a moment together. The human becoming one envisions clarity, being here refines. Singular, now life in you unlearned its way to becoming more alive. Happens in the instant said by act, all reaching out defines. Transformed to singular return, feeling mutualized. Standing within the every emotion all at once. Each vibration of a single revolution of the earth lived with you. Holding each other, arriving into human forms of being dawned, holding each other across the flow to understand spreads in, holding each other, arriving on clarity forward to all that needs envision, holding each other alive as the chorus within what we want to be. Thanks for your generous listen.
Goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skill.
Oh, that was amazing. Fantastic work. Yeah.
Holding each other. I love it. I love it.
Can you believe that he did that without mentioning Israel and Palestine, but never let it go? You get that? The man went deep. The man went deep on that.
This is what I love about poets. Because we can take what's going on anywhere and everywhere, anytime and every time, and make it into something like this. We can make it into something that sounds funny or cute or heavy or dangerous. Thankfully, the world has people like us, right? Paul Skiff, you continue to take things to another level. And I thank you so very much for that. There was a couple of things. There's many things that I was able to you're amazing all the time from every angle. There's two things that I just can't believe that, damn it happened, right? You said life in you unlearned its way to becoming more alive. Man. That just sounds like someone just, training you to do that. And then you mentioned from imagination's womb, enlightenment births you or births one off this earth. From imagination's womb, enlightenment births one off this earth. Man, that's some galactic Jedi mastered mind trick to let you know that poetry is alive and well and still doing beautiful things to our brains with words. Thank you, Paul Skiff. We can't really say how much we appreciate you, but thank you for continuing to come and hang out with us and support us with all that you do. Real quick, let me shout out a couple folks. Kazi Kaz was gonna be here this evening, all right? But he has to have a procedure done. So everyone send positive energy to Kazi Kaz. He will be back as soon as he can, but he has have a knee surgery thing. He's good. He just has to have a procedure, so he wasn't able to make it this evening, but wanted everyone to know that he wasn't trying to do anything foul. He didn't mean to, not be able to come through, but some things going on. So positive energy to Kazi Kaz. Also saw Melinda Lucas. Appreciate you for always coming hang out with us. Professor Platinum in the building, Doug Silver. Appreciate you for being here always. All right. These people are important to what we do. All right. There is a new person here, but I'm telling you, I'm sure you have a beautiful name, but I'm not even going to attempt it because I would never want to disrespect you that way. So, but thank you for being here. Truly, truly, truly. All right. Coming up next, the cat that always has all the gusto, always coming, looking fly and ready to rock, right? I'm telling y'all, the Magus is in the building. If you're not really sure, you're about to find out. The one and only Gustav Salas is about to do it to you. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Gustav, it's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Thank you, Elemental RMT, beloved poets. I am Magus 801, MAGUS 801 on Instagram. I'm going to get right to it. I'm up against that 3-minute limit. Here we go. This is called syzygy. Behold our loving energy. When stars align, it's syzygy. Nuyo poets' creative diversity. We spit in the face of adversity. Born on wings of eloquence, dropping truths of consequence. Letters forming words of magic, transforming trauma and the tragic. Distill from pain the raw emotion. Pours on the page like an ocean. We keep writing so we don't drown. With every adjective, adverb, verb, and noun, thoughts coalesce that will astound. Watch these weirdos get profound. On Monday night, the place to be, New Eurekan open mic, you see. Our voices coming down the wire. We set this fucking Zoom on fire. And this is called glossolalia. I'll wrap around you like a vine, sinuously will intertwine. I celebrate your body, a Saturnalia. Speaking in tongues is glossolalia. Engaging glances and DNA, an all-consuming passion play. Face to face or 69, I am famished, on you I dine. One taste of you, I'm delirious. You're a drug, but not deleterious. I want to feel you in my veins. You're hot, that's true, but you've got brains. The sexiest organs inside that cranium, generating heat like it's uranium. Burn down beds like pyromaniacs. The Tom Club. What are words? Words on TV, words for crooks, words of comfort, words of peace, words over here, words over there, words to make the fighting cease, words to tell you what to do, words are working hard for you. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. Words of nuance, words of skill, and words of romance are a thrill. Words are stupid, words are fun. Words can put you on the run. Mots pressés, mots sensés, mots qui disent la vérité. Mots maudits, mots mentis, mots qui manquent le fruit d'esprit. It's a rap race with a fast pace. Concrete words, abstract words, crazy words and lying words, hazy words and dying words, words of faith and tell me straight, rare words and swear words, good words and bad words. Words can make you pay and pay for. Letter words I cannot say. Panty, toilet, dirty, devil. Words of trouble, words of subtle. Words of anger, words of hate, words over here, words out there, in the air and everywhere. Words of wisdom, words of strife, words that write the book I like. Words won't find no right solution to the planet Earth's pollution. Say the right word, make a million. Words are like a certain person who can't say what they mean, don't mean what they say. With a rap here and a rap there, here a rap there, rap everywhere, rap it up for the common good. Let us enlist the neighborhood. It's okay. I've overstood. This is a wordy rapping hood. Okay, bye. What are words worth? Words worth. Words. Thank you.
Damn, that dude is serious about those words, huh? Unmute yourself, give it up for
Words.
Gustav.
Get it?
All right, the wordy rapping hood.
Ovation.
That was so fun to listen
Nice
to.
little outro.
Man, listen, that is a word wizard indeed, sir. And then he just flipped it into another language too, was just clean with it, kept the beat rocking in that whole nine, right? Behold our loving energy. Man, what? Born on wings of eloquence. What, man? Are you kidding? Did you say glossolalia? Speaking in tongues is glossolalia? What the hell? Wait, I'm coming at you, Gustav. Run that back to me. Did you say that?
I'm sorry, I
tongues is
can't hear you,
glossolalia?
Elemental. The sound is gone. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what you asked me, but I'm here.
Glossolalia.
And I love you guys. I still can't hear you. Love you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, look, it was just, how he puts in things, right? When poets start really going in, man, it really is just a thing of beauty, right? He said generating heat like it's uranium. Word, right? Words help you on the move, right? Rare words and swear words. Words are trouble. Words are subtle. Like, all of that, right? That's why I love poets, because we do amazing thing with words, right? And we make people think that it may not be the words that they know. We just do it well. Thank you. Thank you, Gustav, for always coming through, always bringing all the gusto and making sure your poetry is always tight. Appreciate you. Coming up next, again, I said this earlier, shout out to the educators. Here comes another incredible one right at you. This poet continues to come and hang out with us and share her amazing poetry, also shares her family with us as well. The one and only Marianne Teft is here. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, Marianne. Please take it away.
The pleasure is mine, Elemental. Thank you so much. Greetings to you, RMT and poet friends. Thank you so much, Magus, for creating that strong draft. And I'm going to step right into it tonight with a poem on theme called Strive. Strive, strive, though you may find it beyond your reach. The first words of the first story I ever heard with my byline, read out to the delight of my then 12-year-old ears over the PA system of Buttonball Lane Elementary School by my principal, Mr. Snuffer, who, despite his contrarian surname, did just the opposite of extinguishing my urge to write. Instead, I became one of those nerdy girls, the ones who were allowed to spend lunch in the library and recess writing at the picnic tables, en route to earning the high school English award and a general entrance scholarship to university, where I spent all $588 of my tuition in those days on, guess you what, journalism school. I guess Strive really has become a pillar of my life as I moved from daily reporting to government communications to hotel marketing and on to running an in-flight magazine. Eventually, trading in the power suits and executive lunches for home office jammies and tapioca pudding with a 2-year-old. Ever more responsibility, ever tighter deadlines, thousands of bylines, and decades after Strive, one that still brings a smile. My name on the cover of Full Moon Fire, but never more pleasure than watching more than 30 former students read their own bylines atop published poems and short stories, accomplishments that one day just might give their college applications that extra bit of cachet as they strive to light their own fires under their own full moons. Thank you, everyone.
Damn it. Oh my goodness. If that's not what you call inspirational, I don't know what it is. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marianne.
Yes.
That's the power of words right there. Yeah.
That was
Yeah, light that fire.
over
Thank
30
you.
students. Wow. Passing
Thank
it
you,
on.
everyone.
Paying
Yep,
it forward.
trying to. Thank you,
are.
everybody.
You do. You do. Wow. Beautiful.
Listen, this is why I love educators, right? Especially the passionate ones, right? Y'all excited, right? Y'all excited talking about education and giving information to kids, and it's something about it, right? thank you for bringing in the journalism aspect, right? Got my degree in communication, specializing in journalism, right? So it's important when you mention the bylines, right? For those who don't know what a byline is, it's something very small, right? Outside of journalism, you might not even think about it. It's like, okay, it just says by so-and-so, no big deal, okay, whatever. But to the author of that, you collect those, right? That byline is significant to journalism writers. It is, right? Because just like when you go, as you mentioned, you go to a college, for those people, or a job resume, they want to know, how many bylines do you have? Some of the best writers in the world have thousands of them in circulation, right? Thousands, right? So it's a big deal, really. Thank you for that. You mentioned you became one of the nerdy girls, right? Recess writing, like even then she was trying to, put poetic things together, right? On the cover of Full Moon Fire, right? All of that to be able to pass that on to your students and then see 30 of your former students enjoy that same feeling as you. That is the magic of education. That's the power of it as well. Thank you for being a dedicated educator. We appreciate you, truly. All right, coming up next. All right, the storytellers are in the building, y'all. I'm telling you, the storytellers are in the building, and here comes one. A gentleman I like to call the Vincent Price of poetry. This man never misses. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Ike. It is great to see you. Please take it away.
Something very simple, but as profoundly as a dream can be. As a young man, I was a fan of Jean Cocteau, 1889 to 1963, who was a French poet, playwright, novelist, designer, filmmaking maker, visual artist, and critic. He was one of the foremost artists of the Surrealist, Avant-Garde, and Dadaist movements, and an influential figure in early 20th century art. I dreamt of becoming his pupil. Yes, I fell asleep and I dreamt. Jacques Cocteau and the importance of the line. Inside the dream of all dreams, I find myself in Paris, in front of Jean Cocteau's house, waiting nervously in a long line of patient admirers, asking for a favor, asking for an autograph, his signature on a piece of paper, his signature on a photograph. Unprepared as I was, I had neither paper nor a photo, none of them, not even a pen I should have had. Nor did I even ever bother anyone. Asking for an autograph was what I called an intrusion into privacy. So I asked myself, why am I here? Why now? I felt embarrassed. I repeat, why now? So I tried to sneak away, passing his house on a narrow walk at the side. Then a sudden knock on a window caught my attention. A hand waved me, a sign that meant, yes, it's you. Come in, come in. I want to speak to you. And I came, and I found myself with Cocteau in an almost blackened room. A large sheet of white paper stared at me, totally plain, as large and as white as it could be. Suddenly, all the blackness was gone, like in a dream. Cocteau handed me a pencil. His voice demanded, "Start!" I took the pencil. I looked at the paper, as lost as I could be, and stammered, "I don't know what, oh, how, or why." Cocteau took the pencil from my clueless hand, his hand so sure, so dominating, as if they knew what next to do. He drew several black lines onto that pure white, which made absolutely no sense to me. Cocteau returned the pencil to me, egging I should continue to draw. Unfortunately, I could not see what he saw. So again, he grabbed the pencil and added more lines, returning the tool. Go on. But I just could not see what he saw. Cocteau added more lines. I felt embarrassed. I felt ever so dumb, even blind. This exchange of the pen went on for a while. Just when frustration set in, I suddenly realized that only one line was missing to complete something so totally abstract. So I drew that missing line and I was satisfied. Cocteau responded, well done, you did just fine. Now you understand that every line is not just a line, but of critical design to complete a message, however profoundly. I woke. The noise of a passing fire engine. I was, after all, in bed, back in London town. Forever, I remember my building block, the importance of the line. Yes, 1964, I had this dream. But was it really a dream? Or a lesson so eloquently taught? The blocks became mine, and that for a lifestyle. Thank you.
Goodness. I don't know how you do it, but I'm glad you do it and share it with us. The one and only Ike Whoa.
Yeah,
Well done.
Right.
realism and Dada, my favorite forms of art. Cheers.
No, it is again. I know I'm biased, right? But this is why I love poets, because we bring in so many different forms of art, right? You had me at surrealist avant-garde, sir, right? And I'm still like, wait a minute. He did say he fell asleep and he dreamt of becoming his pupil, right? He realized at first he didn't have paper or a pen or a photograph, right? Walks into the room, large sheet of paper staring at him. He drew one line, right? And the lesson in that was every line is not just a line. But there is the importance of the line. I told you, man, Vincent Price just doesn't miss, right? There's always just layers to, man. Make sure you are plugging in with Ike Waltz, all right? I can tell you that he has a new manuscript on the way. Be on the lookout. It is just as amazing as the previous 6. Yeah, I said 6. This cat's got 6 other books, man. Make sure you plug in. Appreciate you, Ike, truly. All right, coming up next. Whew. Mention this cat's got book. This next cat is the author of I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance. Shout out Oshun Oyen. Listen, when the OGs come through, man, you just gotta respect them, right? And then this cat has the nerve to be kind of cool with it, man, for real. The one and only Ngoma is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, Baba. Please take it away.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Everybody hear me? Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna do a couple of pieces from I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance. I thought this was, I don't know what the theme is, so kind of like, anyway, this is called Sitting on the Edge of Tomorrow. So I'm sitting on the edge of tomorrow, making elbow to Obatala. He says, peace and justice is coming. Patience is the father of good character. I hear war drums in the distance, but I ain't sweating. Me and Ogun been tight since Nam. So I spray him with some gin, give him some palm oil, a black pig in the head of a dog. leg by telling me there's always at least two sides to this thing. Choose the red pill or the blue pill. There's a rumble between the eagle and the bear, but the dragon sitting on the sidelines waiting for the empire to fall. All the news is fake, while the sheeple pray to false messiahs. But Ifa says victory is destined to the righteous, and the army of light will prevail over darkness. So that was one. Let's try this one. This doesn't really have a title. I was writing poems just before I became 65, and this was poem 13, a countdown to 65. I've been digging through the contradictions, trying to find my way back to beginnings, walking in circles, spiral, searching for the light. I've been turning over rocks, studying how his story turns back clocks, redefining definitions, separating spirit from apparition, searching catacombs and caves, found out secrets that were amazing, deciphered my way through mazes, trying to find the way, studied Bibles, Metanita, the Tao, the Quran, and texts from mystery schools, philosophers, scholars, and fools, searched books to find Jesus, found that he was no Christian. Now I question his existence and understand your resistance to believe these things I'm finding. But I question that book you call the Bible, wondering who we should hold liable for the survival of these lies. Distorted scriptures in disguise. Heru was the sun god, misinterpreted as God's son. Now make sure to look closely, you can see Osa, Oset, and Heru, the Holy Trinity, is written in the book of coming forth by day. Greeks call it Biblios Helios. Its real name is the Sun Book. These doctrines need investigation since the Nicene Convention, where rulers changed the holy text so you won't know what's coming next. Full deception to control by fear got you believing in revelations, ignoring reincarnation, thinking that the end is near. So be conscious of what you read. These rulers lie and deceive, then perhaps you'll make the decision to return to your ancestors' visions.
That's what I'm talking about. Woo-hoo, I'm telling y'all never cease to amaze me. Unmute yourself, give it up for Ngoma.
Wow.
That's some fire on the mic. Yeah.
Netta. That was dope.
Yes,
Giving us
yes,
some
yes.
good Papa
Thank
medicine.
you.
Bringing us the age of wisdom.
Okay, right?
Wow.
He said, listen, and I know the number, right? And I still don't believe the number, okay? But he said this was a countdown to 65. Man, look, this cat has been doing it longer than some of us have even thought about doing it, and then doing it better longer than we've been doing it, right? I implore all of you, every time you come across folks in this lane, make sure you respect them. We do what we do because cats like that paved the way for us to do it, right? Said sitting on the edge of tomorrow, like, man, come on, right? Patience is the father of good character. Oh man, that just has a sparkle on the end of it for me, man, for real. He said a rumble between the eagle and the bear, right? While the dragon was chilling, just waiting to see who gonna go where, right? I love how you threw that in, man. Shout out all the Vietnam vets who are still holding it down, who are still hanging on, right? The real soul brothers still exist, man, and I appreciate y'all for holding it down like that, man. You know, you studying Bibles, right? You studying, trying to figure out what's the truth and what's the lies, man. Who should we hold liable for that Bible? Man, come on. Like that just stung right there. Who should we hold liable? Got you believing in revelations and not reincarnation. Man. Whew, I love when you come through, man, and I appreciate you for doing it as long as you've been doing it and staying dedicated to doing it at a high level. Thank you for that dedication and that persistence. I truly appreciate you. All right, coming up next, our resident musician is in the building. know the night and the week is right because we get CC our Chandra sitting in front of his keys. Come on, man. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Okay, whatever I do tonight, it's going to go out to Bob because he's playing Papa Bear on us. That's good, man. This is my book, and it's on my website, ccrchagua.com. You just Google my last name and have fun with that, but don't stop where you start. That's what I say about that. All these web pages and stuff. Look at that. All right. Thank you, Megas. Hey, Megas. All right. You're the man. You know, what you just said is so important that, you know, I've been to thousands and thousands of open mics. I am not kidding. And there's a lot of them where the young doesn't respect the old, and the old is tired and they just feel like they're just not being paid attention to. That does not happen here, people. That does not happen here. This is when he said the world greatest community. I know I think that has to happen every week for the first time. I'm going to give you that. We got to earn that all the time, over and over again. He says it every week, but the next week that comes along, we better earn that he's throwing us that bone, and we better earn it. I'm going to give you that one, because that's parenting. The name of this is The Parenting of Life. You may have heard this one before, but this one belongs tonight. And whatever's going on in your mind with Israel and Palestine, long time ago I wrote a song, and it was about renaming Jerusalem Humantown. And I just posted it on my Facebook page. It's an old ditty of the story behind it. It's unbelievable. It's a little love story about chocolate and flowers and stuff like that, but it's woven in there. And so just keep coming up with the answers, poets. Fuck that there is none. I believe in the parenting of life. And no one owns a woman. No one owns a child's love. And I believe this is the highest art form. And the abuse of innocence is the highest crime. And I believe the only way to rise is to always fall true and never be above you. And I believe forgiveness is a mirror. And you need no fist, word, or hammer to break reasons into blame. And I belief must not fear dying. And you should never fear to ask a naked, honest question. And I believe that being wrong is a blessing. And when you still don't know the answer, the law of love is one. believe in the parenting of life, and no one owns a woman. No one owns a child's love. 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 That's for you, Baba. And everybody's still walking.
This dude is pretty damn good at what he does. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CC Chakra.
Nice.
Yeah, CC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Beautiful, beautiful and powerful. I love it.
Hey, listen. Y'all don't just have to hear me scream, right? Again, y'all know I'm biased, right? I love all y'all. I love all your work, right? But you don't just have to take my word for it. You hear your community members tell you how much they appreciate your work, because we can hear the effort. We hear the energy, the dedication, the patience, the persistence. We hear it. And every time I hear you perform one of your tracks, I hear the comfort just growing. I hear the energy starting to build more and more and more, right? You are becoming something so much more, right? After all this time that you've been getting down, man, you're turning into something else. And I'm glad that we're able to see it and share it with you and contribute, right? And remind you, damn it, I need some more of that, and some more of that, and some more of that, right? When you talk about respecting the timeline, like, you got to remember, man, there is no you without them, right? That's why I always go back to the beatniks, right? If it wasn't for those people making poetry a dedicated piece of revolt, of revolution, of expression, then we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have this opportunity to let people know, hey, we struggle too. We deal with anxiety and depression and all these things. PTSD, we deal with these things, but guess what? We are using all of these energies into a positive way and sharing them, right? Right. It doesn't take fist work or hammer to break reasons into blame, man, right? Belief should not fear dying. He said, never fear to ask a naked, honest question. Man, listen. It goes right back into what Baba was saying, right? About the sheeple, right? Not just paying attention. If you want to follow along, right? It happens that way. Being wrong is a blessing. I love how you said that. And I love that, really. Being wrong is a blessing because it gives you the opportunity to learn, right? To ask questions and to find your faults and to correct them. Thank you, CC. Make sure you are plugging in with CCR Chagra, continuing to do all kinds of stuff and moving around in all kind of different ways. For real. Truly appreciate you, man. All right. Coming up next. Oh, man, it's been a while since I got a chance to get this cat in here. But if you are not prepared yet, I suggest you do. Genius is in the building all the way from Japan. The one and only Poet Talk is here. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Poet Talk. It is always good to see you. Man, please.
Thank you, Elemen2al. Thank you, Elemen2al. Intro, great intro. I'm a little bit nervous just after great pianist, musician, CC. And tonight, this is my count. I hope you check it out. Tonight, I wanna share the syntax box from Syntax Tree of Noam Chomsky. It's like a word play, and also pray for peace. You know, many people have died in the world, so I really praying for peace, stop war. So take a watch. Color screen idea 3, error 3. Color screen idea 3, error 3. Columbus free idea slaughter, friendly. Columbus free idea slaughter, friendly. Confused, yeah, suspended freedom. Confused, yeah, suspended freedom. Coronavirus boy, identify, survive, othering. Coronavirus boy, identify, survive, othering. Coronavirus funds ID, secure fundamentally. Coronavirus funds ID, secure fundamentally. Commercialism, fake ideology, suspicious folklore. Commercialism, fake ideology, suspicious folklore. Commonwealth takes idol sacrifices forever. Commonwealth takes idol sacrifices forever. Computer games idol sometimes foxy. Computer games idol sometimes foxy. Copernicus-traded idiosyncrasy stays force. Copernicus-traded idiosyncrasy stays force. Copenhagen interpreted either stockpile bombs. Copenhagen interpreted either stockpile bombs. Conquistador intercourse indeed, smash down. Conquistador intercourse indeed, smash down. Consequence illusion inside self-mode. Consequence illusion inside self-mode. Contradiction initiates insomnia, sexual mourning. Contradiction initiates insomnia, sexual mourning. Insanity service mourning. Insanity service mourning. Cockpit inside installed terrorist city. Cockpit inside installed terrorist city. Collateralized includes instant default assets. Collateralized includes instant default assets. Collapse concludes Istanbul budget. Collapse concludes Istanbul budget. Colonization creates idealistic soul visceral. Colonization creates idealistic soul visceral. Color screen idea 3, veracity. 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 Pray for peace. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to warn y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poet Time.
Wow,
Genius is
yes.
poet.
You're bringing a new level of genius to the fore, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really are.
Amazing.
Some of your work belongs at a goddamn museum as an installation. You know? I'm serious. I'd walk into the museum and I'd see a video installation of that piece. That's art, man. That is some serious art.
Here, here.
And he's calling it poet movie. He's got a word that I saw somewhere. What was it? Your poet cinema or something like that. Poem.
Hold damn it, hold on. See, you giving up all the hold on. That's an idea that we need to work here. Hold on now. Hold up. That's a really, really great idea, though. All BS aside, right? A poetry installation, right? Including video. I warned y'all about this genius right here, right? Which is why I get excited when Poet Talk comes through. As I mentioned, it's not a joke. This cat is in Japan, right? I tell y'all, right? Greatest community in the world. It's a truly international space, right? There's also our friend in here, well, he was here earlier, right? Unmesh Mohitgar is in India, right? Lantern Carrier is across the pond in the UK, right? This is a truly international space, y'all, right? This ain't just, you know, your mama them next door and your cousin them down the street, they want to get together and rip some stuff. Nah, you are rocking with the best. Believe it. And make sure you respect it, because these people do this. Some people just do it and they play around with it. We do this. Respect the artists, all right? Not saying that anybody disrespected anybody, but I'm just saying, for those people that's out in the Zoomverse, in the Facebook world, make sure you respect the poets, all right? Show love to your poets, man. This is what we do, for real. All right. Coming up next, whew, Poet Talk, you just continue to do what you do, man. Like, see what you do, man. For real, right? But then here's the thing about Poet Talk, real quick, and we'll move on real quick. Poet Talk does that every single time he has a poem that he feels, you're going to get that, right? It's always going to be on point, and he has the nerve to be a dope-ass poet, right? Everything has meaning in Poet Talk's work, right? Everything. He said the cockpits installed terrorist seating. Come on, man, right? You may think that sounded kind of crazy, but you got to think about it. They did install the terrorist seating because they had to put air marshals on planes, right? I just love that. I love that. Appreciate you, Poet Talk. Really, man. Like, I implore all of you, because I always do, but I implore all of you to go back and see that. Go back and watch the replay for tonight and really, really get into what Poet Talk was just saying there. Like you said, he's praying for peace, right? We all want peace all over the world, right? Appreciate you, Poet Talk. Don't be a stranger, man. All right, coming up next, gentlemen, I like to call the Iron Chef of Poetry, because I promise you, he always serves up something delectable. The one and only Generalissimo is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Generalissimo. It's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Well, before I do that, I just want to congratulate Mr. Poet Talk. He is on the short list for the Obail International Poetry Film Contest, which is out of Ireland. It's been going for 11 years, and I just saw the list of the shortlist people because I go to their monthly open mic, so I get all their mail, and it's a really big deal to get on that short list. And this man from Japan is really doing Japan well and doing us all from New York well. So congratulations, Poet Talk, for getting on that short list, and I hope you win. I can't wait to see your film. So I'm gonna read two poems quick. Let me find them. I just have them up here. Here we go. First is called The Final Renunciation of a Citizenship. She stared at the home she was raised in, a home her father carved from swampy woodland, a place that should not feel foreign to her but did. Her mother passed 3 years prior from emphysema, diagnosed over 30 years after quitting smoking. Her father remained there. She asked him to move in with her and the kids. He declined. He needed the familiarity of the structure, much of which came from trees on the land. The wide planed pecanwood floors were a slight pinkish color that qualified as muted rust. The rough-hewn ponderosa pine walls felt and looked like cedar, but smelled sweeter. The porch railing, which was originally metal, was replaced with crepe myrtle branches harvested from trees her mom asked her dad to plant that he crepe murdered 4 years later. He committed crepe murder every other year since and fashioned branches into canes he gave as gifts to elderly friends and relatives or sold at the church holiday bazaar. This now empty home was a rebirth of things taken from the land, now empty of both her parents, furniture, and bric-a-brac. She relinquished its future to a real estate agent. She walked across the floors. She ran her fingers along the walls. The stairs still had a telltale squeak on the fourth to last step. After she realized the hand-scrolled molding in her childhood bedroom was a love letter from father to daughter. A warm tear rolled down her cheek, and its memory sweetened her sleeping dreams for years. And this next one is called Why My Life is an Endless Loop of Cliches. As a chronically clumsy individual, it is not uncommon for me to find myself stumbling over my words, ending up with my face flat on the floor from simply misspeaking. And whilst I lay there in phantom paralysis, my words are running around in circles like chickens with their heads cut off, creating havoc in my life. Sometimes they run and run till they tire themselves out. But there are times it seems like they've juiced themselves with Lance Armstrong steroids to turn my life into a Tour de France downhill leg, causing me to tumble, crashing against anyone close to my path of least resistance, resulting in a most messy domino effect situation that ends up like a tangled pile of spaghetti that must be carefully cut in several different places to untangle the tangled web I wove in order for me to find any semblance of order, to find a way for me to find the right words, to right a wrong that didn't have to happen if only I had decided to think before I spoke. Gracias, and thank you, Elemental. And congratulations.
I told y'all, it's always delectable. The one and only Generalissimo. Unmute yourself, give it up for Generalissimo.
Yeah.
Oh, does it again.
Oh.
Generalissimo, thank you so much. Wow, I'm surprised. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, and I said it, right? The Iron Chef of poetry, and he never lets me down, right? It may be sometimes I'm like, maybe he might not have something in there, but he does. And he always does. And I love how you throw your senses in there. That's why I call him an Iron Chef, right? People don't just eat with their taste buds. They eat with their eyes. Also, they eat with multiple senses. And Generalissimo always uses multiple senses to draw you in, right? Even when he's talking about trees, right? I think he said they were pecan trees, right? They felt and looked like cedar, but smelled sweeter, right? That's engaging your senses right off the bat, right? Because now you like, oh, wow, I wonder what, you're trying to picture the cedar smell, and then you're trying to make it sweeter. Like, those are the things that I love about poets, is because we capture people in different ways. Yes, Generalissimo, coming back at you. You should be able to jump in. Please unmute. I really want to know what's going on. Go ahead.
Well, my favorite sense, of course, is nonsense. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you for that, Generalissimo. Listen, David. Nonsense. Oh, that was a good one. I wasn't prepared for that. Thank you, Generalissimo. I appreciate that. Make sure you are plugging in with Generalissimo. One thing I can tell you about Generalissimo, everything he thinks is all in his mind. If you're unsure, ask him about it. All right. He is also one of our published authors in our community, right? Listen, he's got his, I know, and it's weird, right? The camera doesn't really but trust and believe, he has an incredible book. Make sure you are plugging in with Generalissimo. We truly appreciate you, sir. All right. We have reached the halfway point of our show this evening, and I'm going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
I'm doing okay. I think you can hear a little bit of what's happening upstairs. Hello, everyone. My name is Ron Mark Thompson. I am one of the programs and operations assistants at the New York Poets Cafe, and also the tech assistant here on the online open mics. And tonight I am in the New York Poets Cafe in the basement, where Elemental sat here a few months ago when he visited New York City with the brick walls here. And you may hear just a little bit. I think the Zoom mic is filtering out some of the music going on, because there is an online open mic happening right now upstairs, hosted by Sol Preem. So thank you everyone for attending here on Mondays. We really appreciate you as always. I'm gonna quickly share my screen here so I can tell you about all the other exciting things going on at the New York Poets Cafe. But first, as I mentioned, we are in the online open mic right now, every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, hosted by Elemental. And Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time is hosted by our Executive Director, La Bruja. She was here last week in case some of you missed her. Unfortunately, this week she will not be able to make it because she'll be at Lincoln Center in Manhattan at a featured performance. So as Elemental already mentioned at the beginning, our own deadpan Lizzie, Elizabeth Sophia Strauss, will be guest hosting this Thursday. And already allow me to give you some updated news for next week on Thursday, October 26th. Both La Bruja and I will be in person in the New Regan Poets Cafe for the last Jazz Griot program in which La Bruja is also performing. So we have another guest host next Thursday, and that one will be Matthew Maragreen, who many of you know from the Voices and Vibes. He is the hype engineer there, and you may have seen him in previous online open mics here with us. So we're looking forward to that. The Zoom IDs are on the screen here. I'm going to put them in the Zoom chat as well. Also, every month, Beatniks online on the first Wednesday of each month. And again, my apologies. We have performers performing upstairs in the on-site open mic right now. And if you missed any of our online shows, you can also play back the live streams on our Facebook page, Twitter, X feed, or YouTube channel. Also going on in our New Regan Poets Cafe still till the end of the month until we close the doors for the 3-year reconstruction. So it is the Monday night on-site open mic. Next week will be hosted by Rice Felicia, and then the last one on October 30th will be hosted by Salt Preem again. This Wednesday, 8 p.m., the Wednesday night poetry slam. This Wednesday will be hosted by J Rose, and next week the last Wednesday night poetry slam will be hosted by The Bee. Friday night, we have 2 more Fridays in this month, and before the reconstruction, 10 p.m. Chive Poetic Poetry Slam, followed by the Twilight Open Room Open Mic hosted by Chauvet. Elemental already mentioned it at the beginning. La Bruja is also bringing back her one-woman stage play from Puerto Rico. She wrote it. She is also performing it. And it's one more time before the reconstruction here this Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m. You can still get your tickets either online or at the door when you get here on Saturday. Next week, I mentioned on Thursday, October 26th, we have the Jazz Griot, a Latin Jazz Heritage Series. As well, we will be serving sangria, which will be prepared and served by our bartender, Kenny, who is right now upstairs serving all the attendees in the open mic there. You already can get your tickets. Tickets are only $5. Salsa Jam on the last Sunday of this month and the last one before the reconstruction. That one is on October 29th. Doors open 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets are $10. It will be a Halloween theme. And in addition to the band, La Bruja will also be performing on stage together with them. And last but not least, again, as Elemental already mentioned, we're going to keep mentioning it Thursday, next Mondays as well, on October 31st. Not only is it the New Regan's exact 50th birthday, 50th anniversary, but it's also Halloween. So we have in the New Regan Poets Cafe, not on Zoom, in the cafe, from 4 to 7 p.m. a free haunted house. So bring your kids, bring your children, or bring yourself, the adults, if you want to see that. Then we're going to close the doors to reset up everything inside. And then from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. for adults, the ticketed event, which will include DJ music performances. We will have a lottery open mic where you can sign up, and we'll shuffle the names, and then you may perform on stage. Elemental, Rachel, and I did that here on the online open mic a few months ago when we celebrated our 3-year online anniversary. So it'll be similar to that. So get your tickets if you want to see us. This will be the last event to the public in person before we will shut down our doors and start our reconstruction. We will continue, of course, online, and stay tuned. We will also let you know where in New York City we will pop up at alternate sites during the 3-year reconstruction to continue not all but many of our regular weekly and monthly programs. Again, stay tuned. To get your tickets and any upcoming events information, go to newregan.org, click on full events calendar, choose the date and time. This is also where you got your Artist RSVP tickets for the online open mics, which, unlike the in-person event, if you want to perform, the Artist RSVP field opens 24 hours before the online open mic. So for Mondays, it's Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And for Thursdays, it's Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to be on our mailing list, if you are already, you may have received our latest newsletter today, which my colleague sent out earlier this afternoon. If you didn't receive it yet, if you're new here and you would like to, stay in touch with the New Regan Poets Cafe, if you're on the live stream, pause the live stream, scan the QR code with your phone. If you're in Zoom, I'm going to put that in the chat during the next performance. And last but not least, here are all of our links, our website, newregan.org, our social media pages. I also put La Brewer's Instagram handle, La Brewer NYC, as well as Elemen2al's updated new Instagram page. You can also go to our link tree. And if you want to donate, and contribute, to pay for future online programs or in-person, events, you may do so at newregan.org/contribute. So thank you again, everyone, for your support. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you, Elemen2al, for continuing to host on Mondays, as well as for helping me out on Thursdays and those days when I cannot tech assist in the background, so we really appreciate Elemen2al. So coming up next, we're going to go, as I believe Elemen2al also mentioned, we are an international open mic, and we have gained a beautiful international community here. Lenton is one of the many performers, who has been with us, from almost the beginning. He's zooming in from London. He's been to New York City many times. I'm so glad you're back here. Lenton, you know how it goes. Let everyone know where we may find you. The next 3 minutes are all yours. Welcome back.
Thank you, my brother. We love you both. I've got my information in the chat, and I'm going to start. The Declaration of Independence is seen by many as a revolutionary building blocks for freedom. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yet we are still seeking freedom. Giuseppe, Italian chef, and Faustina, Kenyan craftswoman of Ghanaian parentage, epitomizes the spirit of the above. They are neighborly friends, and Giuseppe makes regular visits to this charismatic empress of excellence to bring her food. Tasty jollof rice and peas are greeted with smiles as if painted by Da Vinci himself, her gleaming ebony eyes of innocence, her heart of simplicity and purity like snow-white lilies. Faustina reciprocates, bringing out a ugali meal blended from a soul with nothing but the love of paradise. Asante, nakupenda sana, Giuseppe says in Swahili, and Faustina responds in a native Tree, Medo wo bababa, I love you so very much. We can be the change we wish to see, sharing energies of light and goodness, which blends in a harmony of oneness, friendships that tell stories of our humanity, of wanting to share this place we call home, even as we strive for liberation. Here we have two people of diverse cultures, embodying a deep inner experience of service, even while life around them speaks of nothing but chaos, suffering, and confusion. A poet is forever building blocks, transmitting vibrations which may heal, alleviate pain, or use as therapy and even save lives. Lyrics create emotive joy or sadness in our hearts as we ascend to visionary dreams, communicating a language all our own. Nature, too, has her own harmonies. The cuckoo laments his beloved, even as the sparrow bewitches my heart. The African starling enchants me with symphonies, and my soul blends with the moon as it glistens and smiles. Prose, says Samuel Taylor Coleridge, words in the finest order. Poetry, the best words in the best order. Rumi states that both light and shadow are the dance of love, building blocks concealed in this arena of struggle. Love is present, even as we become fettered in webs, forgetting that we are not spiders, and the wound is the place where the light enters us, says Rumi, so that our inner vessels can glimmer with the quintessence of perennial beauty. Sea water caresses the pearl and the marine bed, the coral serenade its opulence. How I yearn for the resplendence of the one within, so I become a phoenix of blazing fire, extolling the effulgent grandeur of paradise. I cup my hands and kneel in prayer, entreating the surrender of the psalmist David, the wisdom of Solomon, and the gentleness of doves. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Beautiful, powerful. Everyone, please unmute yourself. Lantern Carrier. Wow.
Thank you.
Woo! Lantern
Such a-
Carrier
such a
does it
gift to us
again.
all. Lantern, you're such, and I saw the picture of you with the lantern. That was awesome. You were carrying a lantern. Carry on.
Yes.
Yes, he carries the light for all of us, and not only that, he also comments to each and every, performer in the Zoom chat, so thank you for your wonderful support and participation here. We love you, Lantern, carrier of light. Just amazing. And thanks for writing to the theme, so that's amazing. All right, love it. All right, in the chat, I'm gonna put, I already put a few minutes ago the Zoom IDs for Mondays and Thursdays, which are the same repeating ones. So you can just put them in your calendar, especially for the newcomers, and you can, join us every Monday and Thursdays. And in the chat also now I put out all our links, including where you may get merchandise online, which are our t-shirts, hats, you can get books. And if you come in person to the New Rican Poets Cafe and buy, a hat or a t-shirt at the bar, we will give you a free NPC New Rican Poets Cafe pin, like you see me wearing right now. So check us out. You have 2 more weeks before we have to close our doors and the city starts their 3-year reconstruction. So thank you again, everyone. All right, coming up next is Mr. Tess, who usually signs up near the beginning, but I guess last night he let everyone else, go ahead and before him, because he's a very busy worker, not only in poetry, but in many other aspects in life. Mr. Tess, I'm still glad you still made it regardless of your, order here in the sign up. We're always happy to have you zooming in from California. Let everyone know where we may follow you. The next 3 minutes are all yours. Welcome back.
All right, thank you. I'm going to drop my info on the chat, folks, and follow me on Instagram on the Gashes2019. I will be talking about a different kind of carrion, not the lantern type, but I'm going to do another episode, hopefully 3 minutes of On the Footsteps of Fire. This is a coyote, a roadrunner, a California condor are trying to catch up with a possum that's supposed to tell them something. And this is right before they meet up. So exterior, Matapcuel forest steep, night. The fellowship settles into so much deserved rest time, but they become overwhelmed with anticipation to finally meet Tlacuatzin, Ashka, the coyote. Mr. Cuckoo, I'm losing confidence that this was a good idea. Is this one of your loony grifts? like that constant story that some tropical bird stole your feathers and that a bunch of birds gave you their spare feathers so you wouldn't wander naked through the roads looking to find your original beautiful feathers? Poo-poo, the roadrunner, starts to twitch with anger. Poo-poo. Well, Mr. Trickster, beep beep, Coyote, you're a trickster, but you're not really very good at it. You're kind of like a child who only knows one trick, and it's getting old. You're always trying to catch me, but I'm too fast for you. You're always trying to outsmart me, but I'm too clever for you. You're always trying to humiliate me, but I'm too confident for you. And why do you pick on my feathers? They're beautiful. The medicine people use them on their talking sticks to slow things down. They're unique. Moloko sits by Coyote and Roadrunner as they bicker about each other. He waits patiently for Tlacuatzin to show up, but he can't help but overhear their conversation. His head bounces from one to the other. Ashka, you're so slow, Poo-poo. Ashka sneers. Poo-poo, oh, at least I'm not a coyote. Coyotes are so stupid, they'll chase anything that moves. Ashka, oh, yeah, well, at least coyotes aren't so ugly that they look like they're wearing masks. Poo-poo, at least I'm not skinny that I look like I'm starving to death. Moloko shakes his head. Moloko, you too. You're like a pair of old bickering grandparents. Moloko turns to Coyote and Roadrunner, not amused. Moloko, you two should be careful. If you're not careful, I might just eat both of you up. Coyote and Roadrunner look at each other in surprise. Then they both start laughing. Ashka, you're not going to eat us. You're a condor. Condors don't eat roadrunners or coyotes. Poo-poo. That's right. Condors only eat carrion, not the carrion lantern type. Moloko smiles. Oh, but that's the ironic part. At the rate you two bickering old oaks are going, there may be some carrion at the end of this. Coyote and Roadrunner stop laughing. They look at each other. To their to their rescue, a poachy possum walks into their camp. Tlacuatzin, the poachy possum, saunters into the grapevine forest steep with belly swinging from side to side. He's a big possum with a big mangy tail, web feet, and a grin that stretches from ear to ear. He's also a bit of a slob. His fur is matted and dirty, and his ears are full of leaves, ticks, and twigs. He doesn't care, though. He is a possum, and possums don't care about appearances. Tlacuatzin walks up to Coyote, Roadrunner, and Moloko, and he gives them a big toothy grin. Tlacuatzin, Piyale onoyanquime. I greet you, my travelers. Cualtito tlayowa. Good evening. Ashka rolls his eyes. Ashka, oh, great. It's the poachy possum. Tlacuatzin, Asok, well, achik, nani tomawak, perhaps a little heavy, nitlakwa, miek, awakwa, tomat, I eat a lot of acorns. Possum scans the travelers and registers disappointment on their faces. Tlacuatzin, Quish ashkan impaki inech istok, perhaps you're all not happy to see me. Poo-poo, we have come a long way looking for you. We've been stuck here waiting for you. You might as well come and join us. Tlacuatzin sits down next to Coyote and Roadrunner. He looks at Moloko. Tlacuatzin, Tlen motoka itewa is a chipol, tito topol. What's your name, big belly, big bird? Moloko, I'm a Shumash, California condor. I'm just waiting for you all to die so I can eat your corpses. Tlacuatzin, possum laughs, Ashkana, titlacuase, towantin, totlacuacime, totla ilichtik. You're not going to eat us. We're possums. Possums are too tough, even for condors to eat. Oh, Moloko. Oh, really? Well, let's see about that. It's been days since I've scavenged the landscape. Moloko stands up and spreads his wings, and he opens his beak and lets out a loud screech. Tlacuatzin, Coyote, and Roadrunner look at Moloko, and their eyes widen in fear. They've never seen a fully extended condor up close before, and they are terrified. And we'll leave it here.
I told y'all earlier the storytellers are in the building and they never cease to amaze. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tez the Soul Mo.
Yeah, Tez, what a story. It's awesome.
I absolutely love your character development, sir. I truly, truly do. Something that I've been dealing with lately. And just the conversations, right? Even in situations like this, animals talk trash. People talk trash, right? Looking in the face of a killer, he said, "You ain't gonna eat me, man. You a condor, man. I'm a possum. You don't want no possum, homie." I love it. I love it. Right? I continue to say your interaction between your characters is stellar, Mr. Tez. Truly. Right? Said, I'm too fast for you. I'm too confident for you, right? The medicine people use my feathers on their sticks to slow things down. Right? Looks like they're wearing masks, right? With the coyote, like, I just always appreciate when you bring in your stories and your characters, man. Really, you're just a master at it. So thank you, Mr. Tez, for being a mainstay and always sharing your incredible work with us. Truly, truly appreciate you. All right, coming up next, all right. Usually, you know, we give it up to Ron Mark Thompson, but make sure you do, right? But we're going to keep it pushing, right? Ron's got to get some things done, all right? So appreciate you, Ron, as always, all right? So make sure you're showing love to RMT. Coming up next, all the way from the West Coast. Been a while, man. Been a while, man. But listen, if you are not familiar with this cat, he is one of those cats that work out with the blacksmiths and the word wizards. All right. This cat, listen, if you don't know Khalifa Mitchell, you about to learn. All right. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It has been too long, man, but I know you got something cooking for us. Please take it away.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. I'm Khalifa. I'll leave my Facebook and IG in the chat after I'm done with this poem. Trigger warnings in the poem title and the content of the poem, violent imagery. So here we go. So this poem is called Gunshot Victim on 42nd Street and Telegraph. I literally almost witnessed an attempted murder in Oakland some months ago. I came home and wrote this poem, and my titles never have anything to do with the actual poem. So here, enjoy. All right, let's go. Gunshot victim on 42nd and Telegraph. Dissociation is a lifestyle as I ignore the bullets whizzing by. I'm sunken into the asphalt, caged in, smelling death like Malcolm in 65. Redirect the tribe with hazy commercials, blurring your virtual reality. In search of a salary, I purged of my memories, chirping up burnt fantasies, becoming someone else in 3 seconds, then hop up in another vector. Two-spirit ghost boxing with the empty proton pack leads to a choose-your-own adventure. I erotically displeasure my vagina with thoughts locked on the pet penis from Dead Fiendish. Crept on Venus, smoked Earth's green weight, hexed into a red Egypt. I am the white sheep of the Cenobites, lost in my own electroverse. Catering by Big Lurch, cranked up the megahertz, broke the fourth wall, cursing the meta church. Metaphobes troll around the edgelord graveyard. I renamed my Zoom George Romero, stalking video spaces with alien dick pics, slinging the X like Montero. Black Pharaoh amongst goth kids, squares, and ugly, gross sex offenders, shine brightest in Losersville with plans to conquer the entire consortium of debt collectors. Weaponize the peaceful cultures despite the Kool-Aid with cyanide. Now we got blue soldiers stomping through the Ides of March, authored by Nazi scribes. High alive, back and forth. Jack's divorced from John Ritter. One's enough company, but loneliness makes the sun kiss taste bitter. Hitler's lemonade stand lasted longer than his Third Reich. I turn plight into Caspers, gobbling dog stars until there's no lights in the galaxy, so burn Christ. Illuminati, wants my mind, soul, body, and robot vehicle. The yellow dot fights Pac-Man's ghost with his ventricles, empire upheaval. Single file of exiles down the escalator to box out the regal. Staple the black dots with menial work while we snuff all the eagles. Patriker essence taxidermied into a stick figure who's better than the other planar stick figures. They lynch niggas for pennies and throw every coin at the sky, miming the Big Dipper. I rip Riddlers off half-off prices for cheap chimpanzee enigmas. Phosphorescence carries a stigma. I carry a cross like a load management messiah, outsourcing ninjas. Ishtar and Indra collab to make Mars great again. Leaving for fuck Las Vegas while I jump Oaktown just to recreate Berlin. Heavy Metal 9000, I'm settling down in chaos and absolute ruckus. Wu didn't bring it, but the Spice Girls did. Laced Alpha Box Omega and remained under budget. Over fuck it, I'm scuffed and scuffled with, no agent or ghost taking over. I'm just a cipher learning code to twist algorithms into pussy on the plate, Casanova. Baking soda on my toothbrush made strange fruits blush, finding love on the vine again. No spirit, so my fermented exile teleports me into a super vault stocked with multivitamins. Thank you.
Yeah, damn. That cat said finding love on the vine again. Goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Khalifa.
Wow. Outsourcing ninjas?
Yeah.
Wow.
My book, Psychedelic Existentialism, should be coming out soon on Amazon. We're shooting for an early November release. So there you go.
Yo,
Sure do like that California
psychedelic
sound.
exponentialism. Is that what you said?
Psychedelic existentialism.
Existentialism.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Make sure you plug it in with Khalifa. Golly, I'm telling you, I understand I'm biased, y'all, but damn it, I love poets. Y'all are just, and I warned you about this cat, right? I said he works out with the blacksmiths and the word wizards, right? Like, I don't know, this dude different, for real. I mean that in the best of ways, right? Because I love people that love words, right? And you can clearly tell that Khalifa loves words, right? I love how you jumped it off. You said disassociation is a lifestyle. No doubt about it, right? You have to be taught how to be desensitized to things, especially in especially in the town, all right? The town is wild, right? I don't know if y'all know, but the town is wild, man. He said spike like Kool-Aid, right? That's a Jim Jones reference for y'all. That's some more Bay Area stuff. He said I had to jump Oaktown just to recreate Berlin. Like, come on, man. Like that. It really is a different world. Honestly, I know that might have like set y'all into like a tumbling thing, right? He did mention the trigger warning, right? But it really is a different world. If you have been to the town, if you're from the town, it's different outside of the town, you know, and it could really feel like you're going into a different world. It truly, truly can. Appreciate you, Khalifa. Make sure you are plugging that information in the chat so people can plug in when it comes out. All right, let's keep it moving. Coming up next, we have a new voice after 185 weeks. Actually, I don't think so, right? I think you've been here before. It's just been a good while. Listen, but it's still good to hear people who necessarily haven't come and rock with us, people who just now getting to rock with us. It's important that we make room for everybody, right? So, the one and only Jesus Lugo is here, and we are going to see what it rocks. So please, sir, welcome, first and foremost, right? Please tell us where in the world you are plugging in from this evening. Once we can get the whole audio thing worked out, I believe I've asked you to unmute. There we go. Where are you plugging in from this evening, sir?
Yeah, from New York, but I'm out here in New Jersey right now at the moment. And this actually is my very first time doing this today. It's my first time doing anything like this.
Oh, you have stumbled upon the greatest community in the world. You see how this has been going, right? Please let everything out that you need to do, right? And also make sure you plug your information in the chat. Like I said, you came across the greatest community in the world, right? Where the hell you been, man? We've been doing this for 185. However, don't even matter, right? Because you're here now and you're in the place to be. Please let these folks know where they can find you, man. Welcome. Take it away.
I don't really be on social media like that. But if you could just look up my government, I guess, Jesus Lugo on Facebook. I got my email up there for right now. I'll be back on another one. I have something set up, so I'll give you guys something proper by that time. But like I said, I don't have nothing for. It's just something old that I wrote. I'm not trying to bring the mood down, but I got so many written. It's been a long time since I actually done anything like this, so it's all off of memory. And I'm a little nervous right now at the same time. So anyway, with that, let me get started. My uncle passed away, so this is a 2-part poem that I wrote for him. The first half I wrote when I found out that it was like real bad. The second half, you'll see. But anyway, I said, there's pain in me. I don't know how to release this pain in me. I try, but I don't know how. At times it does subside. Most times it runs wild, leaving me feeling so plain, so empty. Like there's a small hole in my soul that I can't seem to contain, nor can I control, leaving me very drained. I'm holding on, hope is my rope, though only a few threads remain. Lord, I know solve this you can, but what if you say nope and there's no change? I guess it's all part of your plan. That doesn't mean the hurt just simply goes. I still trust you even when I don't understand. But how do I remove the particles, the residue that sorrow brings us trapped? This more than glued. It's like it's fused, and I refuse to let it take me to a place where many choose to stop believing. I'm so sick of when people use that as an excuse. They say God took someone they really love, so that's their reason. Like they're not in a better place. This madness here on earth, they now escape. So stop complaining. Wait a sec, I now see that. What's wrong with me, man? Am I acting like a hypocrite? Nah, more like a human being. Irrational emotions is what situations like this usually cause us to seep in. So regardless, I'm going to continue to have faith to the day I hear my uncle's no longer breathing. So I'm not asking anymore. I'm begging you, Lord, please touch him with your healing. Worst case, I pray so you take it, you seal it in heaven. I pray angels you send them down to help me and my family deal with this painful feeling. Lord, it's me again. This pain is like just got amplified because I wrote that half last night. When the sleep woke up, found out my uncle died. How I wish I was dreaming. First thing I read today was how you rose Lazarus from the grave. So I pray somebody come tell me that this is all wrong. Your uncle is home. He's just sleeping. Don't care if I'm reaching or just holding on to wishful thinking, because I'm still trying to plug this hole in my soul that is now rapidly leaking. I need your help, Lord. This pain is not just holding on to my heart. It keeps squeezing. I'm not the only one. My whole family's grieving. We need the strength that only you could provide in this season where we're so broken. Emotions start choking, suffocating, leaving us weakened. Why did he have to go? At least why this weekend? Why I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye, but I lock onto the memories that locked inside my mind, and I'm thankful every time I close my eyes, I could visualize his face. Yes, I can see him. I know these times seem so unbearable, but with you, we could bear it all. We got to keep moving. He wouldn't want us to be stagnant and stall, putting our lives on hold. Lord, pull us out this hole. Got to keep moving forward. Can't walk or kill, at least attempt to begin to crawl. I talk tall, but can I do this? I don't know. But now it hurts to even finish writing. So I'll just end it with, Lord, please tell him that we love him and he will always be missed.
Yo, that's how you show up and show out, man. Did you have another piece or no?
I have plenty. I got a small one, just a little one where I said, never judge a book by its cover. Imagine what's under. If you turn away before you read a page, a wonderful story you might not never discover. I could go on for days.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Jesus Lugo.
One of us. One of us.
Wow.
One of us.
Yeah, you may have made a mistake. You're gonna have to keep coming here now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gotta keep coming back.
You unleashed yourself, which is a huge first step.
That's a great way to
We need your voice. We need your voice.
Well, I'm gonna try to come in person, hopefully sometime maybe this week or next week, because I'm right down the road from you guys. So
Yo, you got to get in the building. First and foremost, you got to get in the building. All right. Since you haven't been rocking with us, I don't know if you know, but the doors of the cafe are going to close, right? You heard us been talking about that. You know, it's actually coming. So if you do have the opportunity to go and put your hands on the bricks, go. I promise you, I don't care if it's just for one night, you get one show, go in there, put your hands on the bricks, be in that legendary space when you can. And that's for everybody, all right? First of all, welcome. Secondly, you just fucked up, sir, because now you have to be here every Monday night, right? Because now you're a part of the greatest community in the world, right? When you show up and you show out like that, everybody in here knows, oh, this is not your first time, sir. You just said, oh, I don't really have anything. I just got some stuff committed to my memory, right? And just proceeded to burn it down from there, right? Hope is my rope, right? The residue that sorrow brings, I think that might be on the fingertips of lots of folks running around here, right? To the place where many choose to stop believing, right? You have to be careful of some of those things, right? You got to be more like a human being, right? Touch them while you're healing. Lord, it's me again, right? There's a part that I was thinking to myself, you know, this could really be a part of every kind of repast ceremony that people might have. People need to hear things like this, right? It's a level of acceptance when you're going through the stages of grief, right? And it's important to hear someone who's gone through those things, and it just helps to put things in perspective for you that the world goes around in this way. So again, welcome. Make sure you put your information in the chat, and you are now a part of the greatest community in the world. We truly appreciate you for coming through. Don't be a stranger. All right. Coming up next, we are going all the way out to India because our good friend Unmesh Mohitkar is here. He is going to do what he has been doing for us for years now, and that's bringing us the energy, right? You see, Gustav has it. If it's not light shadow life, it's less unmeshed life. This man has his own open mic, doing it, and doing it well. Unmesh, let these folks know how they can connect with you, how they can connect with your open mic. It is always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Hello, everyone. This is Unmesh Mohitkar on Facebook and Instagram, in real life as well. I've got open mic, Let's Unmesh Life, every Saturday, 11:30 a.m. New York time. I will put the link in the chat. You can just register and you will get an email. And here we go. This is something which I wrote in 2011. Here we go. Silence is bliss. Silence is pain. Silence is gentle. Silence is harsh. Silence is victory. Silence is defeat. Silence is submission. Silence is aggression. It's really surprising to see single word expressing so many emotions. Who says silence is peace? It can be the silence before the storm. Who says silence is submission? Maybe it's just a tactical retreat. Same words, different feelings, different meanings. We human beings are blessed to have so many words to express feelings. Empires vanish, dynasties decay. It's the word. It's the words which will hold its sway. It's the words which will always hold sway. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Unmesh Mohitkar.
Beautiful.
More.
Yeah, Unmesh.
Wow. Unmesh is one of those dudes, right? I told y'all we've been rocking with Unmesh for years now, right? His energy is always on point. His poetry always has a level of Lao that you can't find anywhere else. So thank you for that dedication, Unmesh. And this is exactly what this theme was about, right? It's about those words. It's about taking those words and knowing what we know about them and then really digging into them, right? His word choice was silence. Man, he said silence is victory and defeat. It's a single word expressing so many emotions, right? He said, is submission or is it just a tactical retreat? Come on. Beautiful, Umesh. Thank you for that. Truly. Again, this is what it's about, y'all. Words, right? I know, right? We're just a bunch of word weirdos sometimes, right? But we're also wizards that do with these words that very few can do. Thank you, Umesh. Make sure you're plugging into this open mic. Let's Unmesh Life. As he said, 11:30 a.m. New York time on Friday. Plug in. All right, coming up next, a newer member of our community, but has come and carved their own lane. Their voice is unmistakable. The one and only Sri Lal is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It is great to be here. I am on Instagram at Sri Lal Dev, D-E-V. And tonight I brought, this is not an original poem, but it is a translation that's very dear to my heart at this time of year. So here goes. I think tonight of my mother, who glows with the rose light of dawn. Like a great queen, she sees all. She wears the crescent moon that shines forth from her crown of infinite rubies. Her smile is enticing and she is full of milk. She nourishes this world. She sips from a jeweled cup of nectar. A red lotus of long stem blooms in the warmth of her hand. In a pot at her feet shines all wealth for those whose love is true. Let the mind rest in the lap of the fair one who is seated upon the great lotus of silence, her face radiant with bliss, her glance gentle and sidelong. She glows with golden light. She is wrapped in golden silk. In her hand, she holds the golden lotus. She is the compassionate protectress, beautiful to gaze upon and only to be adored. I am at peace in her presence. The goddess is like a gorgeous flower to whom all swarm as bees seek nectar. Her fragrance soothes the mind. She who holds the noose and the goad, the bow and arrows, none can resist her charm. She is decorated with garlands and gems and saffron powder of deepest red, yet she outshines them all. She is a rose in full bloom. She is the great empress who glows with the rising light of dawn. Her eyes flood the world with compassion. She captivates with love as she urges me ever to turn within. She loves each child as the one. Thank you.
I tell you what, y'all just continue to do it. Unmute yourself, give it up for Sri Lal.
Yeah. Wow.
Woohoo! Great, beautiful work, beautiful work. Got a lot of silence coming alive. I love it. A lot of people. That's like the third rail. Got to touch that third rail.
It's electric indeed, right? It's shocking. It is strange. As much as we do what we do with words, it's surprising that silence comes up. But it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense, right? This is what we do, right? But in here is where the work is done. So thank you, Sri Lal. Coming back at you really quick, I have a question for you. You said this was a translation. Would you mind sharing with us what was the original?
What was the original? Oh,
yes,
like
you said it was
the
a
work that it's translated from. This is the opening of the opening meditation of a scripture called the Sri Lalita Sahasranama. It's the 1,000 names of the goddess. And I see, a lot of people are here from India tonight, and it happens to be a celebration of the goddess in India for 9 nights. So I thought I'd bring it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you taking the time to answer that. Listen, it's things like this, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. right? It's not just about words. It's not just about making up stuff, right? It's about interpretation. It's about using everything that you do and are to add to your work in a masterful way, right? And Sri Lal just showed us that, right? Said the great lotus of silence, right? You can't make this stuff up, right? The goddess is like a golden flower, right? None can resist her charm. Her eyes flood the world with compassion. Come on, come on. I guarantee you a poet wrote that. I guarantee you a poet wrote that. Just amazing, 100%. Thank you, Sri Lal, for sharing that with us. All right, coming up next, I honestly did not think that this cat would be here with the whole jet lag and things, right? This cat has been jet setting for a while, right? Shout out to Keep Rip Concrete. Shout out the Descendants of Concrete. Listen, this cat has been on the move lately, right? And now has a new moniker, Mr. Volcanic, the one and only CP Mays in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, folks. It's always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'll put my stuff in chat. It's pretty much CP Mays. It's pretty simple. I got a chance. Like, our world is so amazing. Like, I came to New York for like 3 days, met Ngoma, Cece, like, right? Just came back from a feature across the states, and I'm in the background of Nemo Sum, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm meeting these poets, and our world is fucking beautiful how we embrace each other's style. So I'm a lover of language. Here's a poem. It's called Volcanic Garter Belts. The volcano had a snooze button vagina monologue that dared me to outlast her boycott short curtain calls with the one-man standing ovation. Damned if you do, daredevil if you don't. Hell, she was known to cut off pickup lines during the rush hour rhetoric, as if bothering her guardrails was too much traffic jam for Jameson or top shelf tequila to handle. Hell, she thought heaven was her high-price hellfire hip bone, a heavenly hot box office where she scalped tickets to her own mile-high thigh show, a desert of llama spit in loose-fitting lingerie. One hump will leave you raw and unsatisfied. 2 humps, and you were halfway to an oasis of fake orgasms that were more make-believe than the mirage of Maker's Mark men who actually believe she was made for them. Volcanic garter belts. No blue-blooded Slim Jim could crack the locks on her payroll's chastity belts. High-priced lawyers who perpetually file crotchless briefs could, though. Truth is, whenever she took off her Victoria's Secret thongs, 2 of her timeshares were always paid off, but only when the judges whom her rent was running circles around ran their discovery cards dry. Any paycheck Pelvin patron with the proper paperwork would do. Back when her hymen was, back when her backbone to beautiful wasn't some revolving nut house, when she told me she had publishing rights in the devil's playbook, I should have believed her. Volcanic garter belt. I've never been the type to sip wine and recite communion. I'm more of the in the moment and time again type of forgiveness taker, taking chances, taking shots for every day. It took God to create Earth, a behind on the rent, risk taker of shots. For every day it took God to gun fling Adam right out of the garden of good and eating in a brass knuckle baby birth in a bed and breakfast of slow your roll ugly. You're bothering my buzz, beautiful. John the whiskey, brandy, bourbon, the bartender Baptist type of brother, begging second resets of born again breathalyzers to not reward my roadside test with my Miranda rights. I have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the emotional court of law. Emotional court of law. Thank you, guys.
You're ridiculous, sir. You're ridiculous. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CP Mays.
CP Mays.
Wow. Amazing.
Exactly what Elemental said. It's like you're just a damn, like, I don't know what it is with you, CP Mace.
He
Great,
said very few poets can go that deep and still bring you home somehow. It's like, what are you afraid of dying? It's like, I'm past that. He's rare amongst us.
Thank you.
I'll tell you this. The only way I think you can really be honest with it if you are unafraid of dying. You have to be.
Definitely.
Give up the fear, embrace the freedom, and then know at the same time, through death, you're also gonna get freedom. So fucking win or lose, freedom's gonna come whether you embrace it or it rolls over you. Don't let it roll over.
I love what Cornel West said. They asked him, if you elected president, you gonna wear the same thing? He goes, I'm coffin ready. Oh, I love that. I love that. Shit is good. Now that nobody should run for politics unless they're willing to die.
Yeah, hold on. That cat said I'm coffin ready. Listen, I stay with that work, right? And I think every poet who says they are a poet, who knows they are a poet, you should always have something at the ready, right? For those performance poets, you should continue to add to your repertoire in your mind, right? Personally, I have 12 and I'm working on 15, right? That's my goal. Right now I have 12 pieces that I walk around in my head with that I can rip at any time, right? So I'm thankful that all of you do what you do. Maze, look, man, like you can't just come through and talk about snooze buttons on the Volcano's Vagina monologue, man. Like, you know, you kind of turn me into a one-man ovation. That's not cool, sir. Too much traffic jams, right? This heavenly hot box office, right? An oasis of fake orgasm, right? One hump, two hump, like everywhere a hump lump. Like, come on, man, right? On her payroll chastity belt, right? She got publishing rights in the Devil's Playbook. God. Woo, man, oh, man. Sip wine and spit communion. Like, man, you just, man, Maze is different. Make sure you plug in with CP Maze. There is a plethora of things coming. All right, I can tell you that. There's a plethora of things coming. So when you see it, make sure you jump on it, right? Because Maze is incredible all the way around. Appreciate you, folks. We'll wrap soon. All right, coming up next. I believe this person has rapped with us before. It's been quite a while, right? So I hope that you have written the next great American novel or the next great poetry book, vice versa, or you have come to share your most incredible work as you always do. Welcome back. Thank you for coming to rock with us again.
No doubt.
Let these folks know where they can find you. Please take it away.
All right, will do. I will I'll post my information in the chat after this. Yeah, it's been a minute. I haven't been here in months, I think. So I'm glad to be back. Anyway, this is a new one. New shit. It's called Manifestation. I tried to manifest purported destiny, determined to unshackle heaving feet from unsteady terrain. Whisked to a fantastical land where desire and deepened whim reign, imagination tasked with toppling any doubts that shepherded visages of lust and tender coddling from the big-breasted, full-figured woman who haunted me. She performed an epic rug pull of sorts, tossing a MacGuffin in my line of sight to obscure intention. My apologies for my delayed reaction. It appears I wanted you to get the moment exactly right as I had envisioned it, but you wily one, dangled forbidden fruit as my outstretched tongue sought invigorated taste. You were busy in the arms, plummeting the bottomless, fleshy depths of another suitor, lipstick track marks on his genitalia. I could hear the conjoined moaning of sweet ecstasy in my ear as the scene plays out on painful, unpleasant repeat. For you were not meant to be shared, but I wasn't meant to be cajoled, teased by a captivating songstress whose illustrious features rendered her catnip. Sensory delusions of images flood my synapses as you placed me in the unwilling position of voyeur. I didn't want this to be my vocation, investing time in pining for treasure troves, but all I stumbled upon was a dusty, barren wasteland of cobwebs and counterfeit trinkets, the kind boutiques hawk and sell with desperate determination for a quick buck. I'd be destined to be that one, maybe two night stand. You'd have your way with me. You would hungrily nip at me, cut me with your polished talons, and make me bleed. And in the deafening lovemaking that caused gravity to upend, I'd disrobe you and unveil narcissism. Fortunately, my poise protects predominantly predicated on powerful memory retention, searing thoughts of you ingrained in memory. I must bloodlet. Exorcise you from my psyche, self-preservation key to absolving undue sins. Tantalus told of desires unachieved from the bloody gates of Tartarus. I forgo this vexation and thrust myself wholeheartedly into prolonged pursuit of the next great epiphany. Thank you.
Go. That's what I'm talking about. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Douglas Collins.
Yeah. What a great last line.
Man, for real, right? That's called last line damage.
To keep up that meter was like dope. Like to keep up the meter, and then like you were putting more emphasis like on the second syllable of a fucking word. Like you were, you know what I'm saying? Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
See, listen, here we come with the masterclass aspect. Listen, you're not just here to be entertained, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to learn quite a few things hanging out with these folks. I guarantee you, right? Whether it's rhyme or meter, as my man Mays said, right? Or new ways of saying anything, right? This is the place to get it, right? You said it was called manifestation, right? Teasing you with MacGuffin, right? In your line of sight, right? Sought an invigorated taste, right? Lipstick trap marks on his genitalia. I've heard stories about that, right? Some people, that's just a way to show their toxicity, right? Another form of control for some folks, right? But you were not meant to be shared, right? Like that's just the case, right? Some people didn't get that memo, right? Rendered her catnip. That was just sick. You got to know that line was just sick, man. You just rendered her catnip, like, oh my gosh. And then unveiling her to unveil the narcissism. Come on, man. The polished talons, like all of it, right? That last line, of course, was heavy, right? And I implore all of you to look into all those tactics. Like I said, it's called last line damage, right? Make sure that you're causing just as much damage on the last line as you did with the first. Appreciate you, Douglas. Make sure you are a mainstay. Make sure you come back. Don't be a stranger. All right? Appreciate you. Coming up next, another incredible poet that hasn't been back in a while, but I hope that they have been working diligently and they have some incredible new shit for us. The one and only Jacqueline is back in the building. It is great to see you. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Please take it away.
Hi, everyone. So good, Douglas. I feel like the talent tonight's just been incredible. And I haven't been here in so long. I definitely miss you all, but I'm back. If you want to follow me, you can do so at She Rises Poetry. And I definitely have a lot of new shit. So I'm really excited to perform a couple poems for you guys tonight. So the first poem that I'm going to be performing is called Beautiful Resilient Being. And this is a poem that I just wrote a couple days ago. And then I'll perform another poem that's more on theme. So this one's Beautiful Resilient Being. There was a time I wish I could have erased my past. In many ways, I wore a mask to hide what I was feeling inside, thinking that if I could imagine myself in another identity, then maybe my life would have greater meaning. I disguised my truth underneath a smile. I was the light that others would seek, which is ironic because I was running on empty, being others' strength while I was weak. Positive vibes only is what I preached. How naive could I be? Thinking if I pushed down the negativity, somehow I'd resurrect into the person I was always meant to be, locked in the cages of my own reality. I came to see that you cannot have joy without pain, and there cannot be light without the dark. So rather than view our darkness as the enemy, let us befriend our shadows and view our past with a sense of empathy, as there is possibility that we would not be the beautiful, resilient beings we are today if it weren't for our adversity. Okay. And then the second one is I Am a Poet. Because for a while I really didn't think I was, but I believe poetry is magic, just words coming out of our mouth. It's just forming beautiful magic. I am a poet, and that's taken some time for me to say, because when I first began to write and speak through poems, I didn't feel this was a space for me. You see, growing up, I was taught that poetry only exists in the literature with a set structure and form, but my soul wanted to roam free in full expression of authenticity. So it was not until years later that I claimed the identity that I too am a poet, even if I do not conform to how poetry ought to be. Poetry to me is the love language of the soul. It's our way of communicating our deepest thoughts and pain and making art out of rain. Poetry is an ever-flowing stream that can take a multitude of directions, yet always finds its place back home. Thank y'all.
Ain't that the damn truth, y'all? Woo! Unmute yourself. Give it up for Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Good stuff, especially that second
Wow.
one. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that second one especially.
I am a poet, right? Thank you for that, Jacqueline. Listen, first of all, don't be a stranger. Secondly, you can see the community miss you. And thirdly, you said you got plenty of new shit, so you got plenty of things to come and share with us. Listen, it's something about being a beautiful, resilient being. It truly is, right? Sometimes we all did that, right? We found ourselves wearing a mask to kind of hide some of those things because we felt maybe couldn't understand it or feel it, right? And then we start actually writing the poetry, and they're like, I don't know how I feel about that. Are you saying that you want to kill me, or are you saying that you love me? You know what I'm saying? People can't always understand, right? And sometimes we write poetry in its rawest form. But then when you step into your second poem, you say, I am a poet, right? At first, you don't necessarily feel like it was the space for you, right? But you claim the identity, right? Poetry is a love language of the soul. I can't think of any truer words spoken at the moment. It really, really is. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing that with us. Don't be a stranger, all right? Folks, make sure you are plugging in with Jacqueline and reminding her that she needs to be here every Monday night. Appreciate you for coming back through, truly. All right, final two poets, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all off this hook, all right? Coming up next, a descendant of concrete that continues to come and tear it apart. I know this cat's name because I can see it, but I'm trying to think that this cat may be part jackhammer. I don't know, part sledgehammer. I don't know. The one and only Sidekick is in the building. And every time he touches the mic, he just tears it apart. You know what I mean? Come on, Sidekick. Let these folks know what to do, man. It's always great to see you. I don't see Sidekick yet. So listen, we'll jump to Nemo, right? We'll jump to Nemo and come back if Sidekick is gonna rock with us. So be ready, Sidekick. All right. Which means that I get the chance to tell y'all a story. So the Keeper of Concrete, again, CP Mays, just came back off of a trip to part of the country, right? And I call Mays like, yo, man, what's going on? How's everything? And who did I see on the other end of that call was Nemo Soon. Like, what the, hey, I mean, unless I live in some bizarro world, that's actually Nemo Soon, right? And listen, I have seen this gentleman do some amazing things, whether he's taking us on a micro triptych or he's playing Chopin. He's amazing. The one and only Nemo Soon. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. It is great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It's wonderful to be here. So I'm going to be reading a micro triptych tonight, and then I'd like to finish with a haiku. I wait long enough that the cold gets through and does its damage. Toes in winter boots finally get damp, then wet, then freeze waiting for you. And I keep vigil long enough to no longer feel the pain, pay attention to the cost, or realize the permanence of the damage done in exchange for one more minute of hope that you will meet me here at last. Twisting words nobody heard, but broken wasn't spoken, left with this pain inside my brain, twice insane and 2 times woken. My mind got shredded and all I dreaded descended. Distressed, I confessed, and as I fretted, my marriage ended. The hospital called today, but the phone didn't ring. I felt an echo of the shower on the 2nd floor. I saw flashes of color as the staff ran down the hall. I heard the song in the hot air of the courtyard, while we, the committed, walked round and round and round. And this is the haiku. It is a morning haiku. The birds are singing. The new day has just begun. My dog is pissing. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Nemo Soon.
Nemo, yeah.
Last line haiku. I love it.
Listen, folks. Listen. That's what I love about Nemo Soon, right? Another successful micro triptych, sir. Thank you from our resident micro triptych travel agent. He continues to do this at a high level, right? And he was talking about frostbite, right? If I wasn't mistaken, he's talking about frostbite. He said, because the freeze is waiting for you, right? Permanence of the damage done, right? Man, he said twice insane and 2 times woke. What? As I fretted, my marriage ended. Man. He said, wow, we the committed. Listen, thank you for even saying that. You know, I've told you offline, I've been to the dungeon, right? And there's nothing fun about that. I've said plenty of times, it's easy to get in there. Getting out, very, very different. Coming at you, Maze.
the gorgeous thing about this spot, I think, is we have so many different styles, like from Ike to Nemo to Indoma. Like, I think Nemo's like fucking what's that stuff? Novocaine. Nemo's like Novocaine. Like, give it time, the Novocaine's gonna kick in and it's gonna knock you the fuck out. Like Nemo's style, like that's super dope. Man, thank you.
No doubt about it. Appreciate you, Maze. No doubt about it, right? Again, this is why I love our community, because you get people in the different stages, right? And in the different style and pockets of poetry, right? I've never heard another poet give us micro triptychs. That's just Nemo Soon, you know what I mean? So I love about poets, because we don't seek to jump in line with someone else, we carve out our own. And every single poet that's in this room carves out and has carved out their own lane. None of you mimic anyone. None of you sound like anyone. You're the most original poets that I know, truly. And I love y'all so very much for that, right? Unless Sidekick is in the building, y'all, we are gonna push off for real. Let me just thank everyone who came through to, you know, the opener in Eliza, right? To our last poet in Nemo Soon, every single person in between. Listen, y'all are just amazing. Every single one of you are brilliant. Every single one of you are a key component to making our world worth living in, right? Because when the bombs stop going off, when the people stop screaming, they're going to be looking for direction. They're going to be looking for people to help them make sense of what's going on. Guess where that's going to come? It's going to come right here and fall in our laps. So please be ready for that, right? Because the people that know that you're poets are going to be looking for what you're going to say to help them get through it, right? Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. Reach out to other poets in our community. Make sure everyone is all right. Check on your friends. Check on your loved ones, right? Mental health is key. Please do check in on your folks, right? I appreciate all of y'all for rocking with us. It's been a long one, but thank you so much. Make sure you're plugging in with the cafe. Make sure you get your merch so you can show your love and you're a part of the world, right? We're going to end the night like this. Until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with y'all. Until next week, peace and blessings.